All right, episode 3, season 2. Big guest. We circled this day on the calendar. Jared Connonier. I mean, this is one of the guys. I mean, we've been talking about this since we started the pod, I think, Rob.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
One guest we wanted on this thing this whole time.
Even the practice pods. The hidden files.
Yeah, you guys have been asking me to come on this thing for a long time, you know, so...
Yeah, well, you're a busy guy, man.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you obviously taking some time out of your day, joining us. You got a lot going on. Big fight coming up.
Yeah.
Main card. It's August. What is it again? What's the date?
August 21st.
21st.
Yep, on ESPN.
Okay, so is that an Apex one, or is that with the crowd, or what do we got?
No, it's no crowd. I believe it's going to be at the Apex.
Okay.
So
excellent.
It's going to be another Apex event. You know, they're going to have their special guests and stuff. And
oh yeah, they got.
Dana does this contest and all that jazz, but no crowd on this one.
About how many people are there? Like
I'm not sure.
Or is it like?
I'm not really sure. You know, to be honest, I'm completely in the dark. I don't know what's been going on. I've only fought post-COVID once, and it was in Abu Dhabi.
That's
totally you know, it's totally different now. So,
do you miss the crowd?
I wouldn't say I miss it. You know, I'm unaffected by it, but I can be affected by it. The crowd can definitely is definitely invigorated me prior to a fight, during a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of the experience.
Oh yeah,
right?
For sure.
So I remember that fight in New York. Everybody remembers this fight in New York when the kid was pumping me up before the fight, and I gave him my shirt and stuff. So.
Yeah, those are classic moments.
Yeah,
sure.
That was one of my classic moments in my career right there.
Man, that card in Abu Dhabi was a huge one, right? That was Khabib's last fight.
Yeah, that was a retirement fight. Yeah,
I didn't connect those dots.
That's when we fought
that's history.
Whitaker and that crazy ass. It's crazy because I didn't even know your arm was broken until after the fight, and I thought maybe a little hairline fracture. This motherfucker's arm was shattered completely through, with shards of it sticking out.
That one picture.
And not a freaking peep out of this fucking goon. He didn't. I mean, I can't believe it. He whispered like, he said, "Oh, something's wrong with my arm." Like, I can't believe the freaking. He still fought a fight-worthy performance and performed for 3 5-minute rounds with a freaking fractured arm. Like, I don't know how many people could, have the mental fortitude to do that. I'm blown away. You guys are beasts, dude, to have that kind of, you know what I mean? To still want to go out there and perform the performance, a fight of the night performance, worthy performance with an injury like that is huge. And it's one of the reasons why I admire about you is how strong your mind is. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fucking beast move right there. And it's awesome to see. And I don't know, man, feel free to talk about your recovery versus that fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Rob. You know, you give me a lot of praise, man, but I always tell you, man, it means a lot coming from you because I look up to you in this fight game. To me, you're one of the OGs. When I first met you, I didn't know who you were exactly, but then when I went back and watched a lot of your stuff, I realized this guy's the real deal. He's in the game, you know what I'm saying? He's in the trenches, boots on the ground, all that. Any pretty word you can think about, man. Rob you've been doing it. So I look up to you a lot and take everything you say, you know what I'm saying? And I try to ingrain it into myself and become a better version of myself. And it's definitely coming to fruition. It's been showing in our last couple of fights that we've had together. That fight especially, man, I think that was a classic example of my will to win overshadowing anything else that could happen, you know what I'm saying? Anything else that was happening. The fact that my arm was broke, the fact that I was fighting Robert Whitaker, who was a very crafty fighter. I think who's a crafty fighter. And to perform the way that I did, I felt like to be honest, being in the moment, I felt like, oh man, I wasn't prepared to fight with a broken wing. You feel me? And if I had been in a state that were like, I may get my arm taken out, I may get my knee blown out in the fight, you know what I'm saying? How would I adjust to this? It's hard to simulate that in training, but it's
Did you go through that route kind of mentally? Like kind of these like worst case scenarios, so to speak, or? Not
necessarily, because I don't want to focus on anything bad happening and potentially bringing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Negative energy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I understand that, you know, the possibilities are endless, and I'll leave it right there in the void, you know. I try to take what I want out of it. So it's like reaching into a bag with no eyes and trying to pull something out. But I try to reach for what, you know, I try to pull out what I need out of it, you know.
Yeah.
And as far as fighting goes, it's always a victory, you know. It's always to be able to perform and execute the way anybody would want to, the way they do their best day in training, but better. So it's a fun journey, you know. It was a fun fight, you know, even given the situation, being in the in the state that I was in with the broken arm, it was still fun to get in there and try to win, try to fight somebody, you know, try to take it to a man. And
that round 3 was wild.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That knee was like right there.
Yeah.
I was like,
that knee, yes.
I was like, oh my God. Like, watch it. Oh man, I was going bananas.
Your range and how well you fought with that broken wing was just so intelligent. How you overcame that hurdle of the pain and the injury in the first place, and then overcame the hurdle of execution. The way you executed your performance the rest of your fight after that injury, which took place in the first 30 minutes of the first round, 30 seconds of the first round.
Like the first 50 seconds, I think. 56 seconds.
For sure within the first minute of the very first round.
Yeah.
So you fought 14 minutes against a top 5 guy like Robert Whitaker, very dangerous, on, you know, 3 limbs. And the way you executed that was just, man, we're friends, we're teammates. I'm a fan, but just the admiration and respect I have for you after seeing that live is just, I know your mind is on another level. You know what I mean? Yeah. And just seeing the gains you've made since that fight. Like we're starting camp now, you know, for this fight we got coming up August 21st, but you've been in a camp ever since your last fight. I think I've never seen someone taking a recovery as serious as you have, and your rest and training as aggressive as you have. And man, it's awesome. I tell everyone, man, Jared's only shown like 25 to 40% of what he can actually do out there in the ring, closer to 25%. No one's even seen 50% of what this man can do to these guys. I mean, they've seen a little bit with, you know, Anderson Silva when he broke his leg. You know what I mean? You know, Jack Hermanson, the dismantling of that man. And, man, even the performance against Whitaker with 3 limbs. Like, man, the world hasn't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that break was nasty, man. It's almost like McGregor's leg on your arm. Like,
for real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how damaged it was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, inspirational, dude. It's like, it's next level stuff.
Yeah.
Really. So like a lot, you know, there's obviously like, you don't just wake up and kind of get on that level. You know, like, do you find yourself taking steps like through the meditation process, kind of getting your game plan together? Do you like go through the fight? Do you go through the feelings? And kind of one thing I remember, like when we were doing a training or something, you're talking to one of the one of the fighters or whatever, and you're always talking about the energy. And I think you were speaking more specifically on the defensive end, you know, on the feet, that like with distance, if you feel them up in your grill, you're like, you already lost. Their energy's on you. Like you're too like they got the jump.
Yeah.
And like that's something I was like, oh man, I never thought about that. And then definitely changed my game.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But like, you know, I know you talk a lot about energy, those kind of things. Like, you know, maybe you want to touch on that a little.
Yeah, for sure. Well, me personally, I've come to the understanding of viewing, or the perspective of viewing everything as energy, if you will. You know, it's if you look at reality as a template or a palette, you know, and you look at everything within reality, a bush, a pole, a building, people, plants, water, air, all the molecules and microscopic things that are in it. Those are the different paintings and things that what we conceptualize as God has put on this palette, or has conceptualized within his mind, if you will. To be more exact, is a conceptualization in his mind. So that bush is an actual conceptualization in God's mind, and everything within the mind of God is God itself. So the bush inside of the mind is God. Me inside of my mind is, you know what I'm saying, a super whatever, anything. I don't even want to label it because that will put it in the box.
I got you.
For sure.
But I see everything as energy, right? So I like to translate everything into that. So when I apply that thinking to fighting, offensive energy, defensive energy, I feel the threat of your attack, that's energy. I can translate into a specific energy that I feel, that I'm experiencing, and we react specifically to that. And that day specifically that you're talking about, you know, when I feel my opponent I know when he's trying to attack me. I'm paying attention to him. I'm watching him. If I'm not, then I'm not in the fight. But, you know, I'm watching him. And when I see him motion towards me, I can feel that energy. And if he's good at fighting, I can feel that threat at a very high level. You know? So I try to train people. I try to train myself especially to react specifically to that energy.
Yeah.
And then it's a controlled reaction as opposed to a fight or flight reaction. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond a fight reaction. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a controlled reaction because I don't have to just oppose the energy. I can let that energy go right past and let it dissipate. I can catch it, you know, manipulate its momentum and send it right back out. I can do all kinds of things with that energy. So that's the way I translate it into my mind. So whenever somebody's teaching it to me, you know, teaching me something new, I try to experience the energy that they're trying to translate to me because it's a specific situation that we teach everything in, right? So it's going to feel a certain way, and it's unique to everybody, but it's still specific, if you will. So you're going to experience it one way, while I'll experience it another way, but the energy is still specific. I still feel the threat of attack or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But I myself hone my own perception, my own reactions, my own skills to deal with it the way that I want to. And I try to teach people to deal with it that way that's unique to them. And I give them, of course, the techniques and shit like that. And I'm giving the techniques as well.
Right.
But again, man, it's only organic when I bring it into myself, do it the way that only I can do it, or the way that I feel is natural to myself, and then let it back out again.
Yeah, man, your awareness is just, I say it all the time, your awareness and your range. Because you're so, man, especially right now, like just your awareness and your range and where you place yourself and how far you know the distance between yourself and your opponents, and you know the distance between your limbs and them. And just that is a whole era of combat, and we're not even talking about physical contact yet. Right, just the closing distance, just the spatial awareness in the ring, and just how far away they are and you are, and just the energy exchange. Like, there's a whole realm and awareness level of that before we even come down to the physical combos that are being exchanged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think just these kind of this awareness is even what separates, you know, the greats from the, you know,
for real
journeyman.
Absolutely. That's the high. That's one of the highest levels of martial arts, if you will. Learning where you are in space, you know, your spatial awareness, if you will.
Right.
And how that's, and in martial arts is like a hurricane on the ocean. The top of the water is like going crazy, but underneath the water it's calm, but we don't see what's going on underneath the water because we can't see through the top. But if you know what's going on underneath the water, you're calm throughout the whole process. You're going to be the calm part.
That's a good way to
and
put
not
it.
to be, you don't want to sit on top of it or see it from the top.
Right.
I'd rather see it from the bottom. If you look at it churning water from the bottom, it's a beautiful fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At the bottom of a pool or something.
Yeah. So that's where I want to be, man. As far as my fighting, as far as me and fighting goes, the energy I want to be in control of. And it reminds me of that scene from Kung Fu Panda 2 at the end where they're flinging the freaking cannonballs at him.
I don't know.
And he catches his Zen. You ain't seen it? You ain't seen Kung Fu Panda 2, have you?
Yeah.
You ain't got kids.
Yeah,
So at the end, you know, they've it's old school China, so they've created fireball or cannonballs.
Oh, okay.
And these guys are flinging cannonballs from ships. At Po the panda, and this guy's got his Zen and he's got his you know, it's the end, you know, so he's got this, he found inner peace is what it was.
Okay.
So he's able to stand his ground and catch these cannonballs and take the momentum and it's fucking cool ass, you know, colorful shit and fling them back at him. And the way they made the whole scene go, I was like, whoa. I was like, yes.
That's what you're talking about.
He was like, ooh, I did that on accident.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again. And that's kind of like what fighting is, you know. Sometimes you learn a technique and you're not able to pull it off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you try, and sometimes maybe it happens on accident, and you realize, ooh.
Add that to the.
It really sears it into your brain, man.
Yeah, before your Jack Hermanson fight, I remember you doing that in the middle of the arena. Because I was kind of out there in his, Copenhagen was his hometown. They were trying to build this guy. He was coming out with all this energy, all this hype. The crowd freaking trying to send all this negative energy towards Jared Ring, and Jared
turned it on him,
stood his ground, and he literally just went like this, like a symbol of transmutation. I mean, he took in there. He took in their negative energy, he transmuted it, he directed it towards his opponent, and within a very short amount of time, his opponent was dismantled, laying on his back.
Yeah.
Defeated. You know what I mean? That's awesome, man. I believe that transmutation is a mental art. You know, it's like mental alchemy, and instead of accepting fear as part of your reality, man, you 100% transmute it and make it into a victory.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Fear, I don't fear fear. Fear fears me. And that's what that type of reality I'm trying to create. So anything that comes in here and is trying to generate fear within me, I'm gonna turn it around on you. You know, that's my job. I feel as a man, that's my job to do, especially as a man. You know, because I feel like I'm a protector. So you know, I bows down to none, to no one.
Of course.
You know,
you know, so Jared, like, you know, you got this competitiveness, this you know, almost like a creed, the way you live your life. Do you find yourself like, because I do this, like almost self-talking, like a lot, like, hey, this is the day, I'm getting up, I'm dialed in, I'm getting this ready, I'm getting prepared. Do you have do you know what I'm saying? Do you have like a certain routine? Do you have like any sort of cadence you like kind of go through with yourself, or anything along those lines? Or is it just like overall a general attitude, a lifestyle? It's like the common denominator for basically all genres of life for you, you know?
For me, it's a constant analysis.
Nice.
You know, that's what I've come to learn what I'm here to do, is constantly learn about what. And that's just it. So what can mean anything or everything or just one thing. You know what I'm saying? Right now, for me, one of the big things is martial arts.
Yeah.
That's that's what I'm experiencing. That's what the experiences I want to have on top of other things. But I don't really I do meditate. I don't do specific meditations.
I hear you.
I do specific focus. I do focus on specific things when I'm meditating. I've picked up a few meditative techniques, breathing techniques. I don't really do a lot of chanting or anything like that. I do throat. I do some throat chanting. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had an acoustic room, but I have bowls and sound, things like that to try to create an energy within my vicinity for me to channel the answers. Okay. Now, the answers to what one may ask, it doesn't matter to whatever answers I need. And for me, I want to, for me specifically, the answers that I want are not necessarily answers to everything, but just enlightenment, It's hard to explain. I don't want to know everything. I don't need to know everything, but I would like to be a part of something that has an accumulation of knowledge to where I can go and get some knowledge if I need to. Okay. And not to be told to think like this or not, to essentially be around a bunch of free thinkers. Independent thinkers, right? But anyway, I'm getting off topic.
Cool. No, you're cool. You nailed it.
Yeah. As far as my daily thought processes of how I apply myself to the things that I do on a daily basis. Nothing specific. I think that every thought that I have is important, you know? So I don't like to waste my thinking. I don't like to sit around and chat about idle bullshit that other people are doing,
Emotions.
you know, for extended period of times. I'm aware. I definitely would like to be aware of what's going on around me in the physical realm for sure.
Right.
But I don't like to focus on it to the degree that it's a distraction to the more important things in life, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just more organic thoughts. If something comes into my mind, it's generally mostly about fighting. I'm always thinking about fighting. How can I be a better fighter? You know, of course I got my family, my wife and my kids, and they are welcome distractions. I don't get upset when they take me away from things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because having family is also something that I wanted to do. Spread my seed is something that's natural to me, you know, and I'm happy to have found a woman that I can do that with.
Yeah.
So I have my, 3 kids, my wife, we're trying to do our thing, and I don't want to say take over the world, but
There you go.
break free from the illusion that's been created.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I hear you. I like that.
Financially specifically, but because we see things now, you know what I'm saying? So we have knowledge to where we won't go out there and, get or anything like that based off of just what somebody, came and screaming to us on the TV or something like that.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head earlier when we first started this conversation. You said something pretty freaking gnarly that I don't think everyone got. But you mentioned the first law in Hermeticism. You said that this being that pole, this truck, us having that bush, that tree, this is all inside the mind of God, right? So if that's the case, and it's the first law of Hermeticism, right? And me and Jay know a little bit about this stuff. We're serious students of this stuff. And if that's truly the case, if this is the mind of the Creator, the mind of God, then what truly do you have to fear? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you have no right to fear anything. Because if you fear anything, whether it be a thought of losing a world title fight or losing a job or losing a relationship, or a thought of anything, or crashing in a plane, if you honor fear, even for a second, then you are truly turning your back on what you are. You know what I mean? How you said a super, and you couldn't even fill in the blank because you didn't even want to say superhuman, because that would be putting you in a box.
Yeah.
And I love that you said it. You mean, because you can't put us in a box. You can't put this in a box.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if this is truly the mind of God, then truly anything is possible. You know what I mean? And fear has no dominion here. And as Stoth mentions in the Emerald Tablets, he says all fear is rooted in the Dark Lords. I mean, all fear comes from a very dark place. And I believe if you honor fear, then you're honoring this dark source from which fear comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in our sport, these combat sports, it is a constant battle of conquering fear, right? You can't let fear keep in your mind. And a lot of these youngsters in the game coming up, there's a lot of fear that they're learned to conquer in sparring and in drilling, and before they get out to the big stage. So, dude, for me, you've heard your whole career, the fighting's 90% mental and 10% physical. And I never really knew what that meant until later years, and in the last 5 years or so, I'm really getting how mental this shit is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're not applying your mind, it's like you're gonna run right into a brick wall. That's what fighting will be like to you. That's why you see those people who take a lot of damage, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what fighting. I mean, I can't do that, man. That's not the way I want to fight.
Yeah.
That's not the way that I've
Being tough.
ever saw. Yeah. That I don't. Yeah, y'all, man, I'll go off on a rant now. But that's not one of the things I really like. You know what I'm saying? Because
Taking damage.
yeah, I know people are propped up based on that fact alone. They're able to get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that should be commended. I think that's just something that should be addressed. Right? That's not showing high level skills right there. You're lacking defense. Right? You're lacking defense, and your lack of defense to get to your offense is not. It may be effective to some degree, so I'm not gonna knock it completely, right? Because sometimes I might go through the fire to get to
And
you know what I'm saying, to get to the exit, right? Oh, I can't even use that as an analogy. That would be bad. But you know, I like it, man. I think Floyd Mayweather is one of the boxing gods, if you will.
Nice.
And when he said the goal is to hit and not get hit,
period.
I was like, ooh, that really sunk into me. That really stuck to me right there. I'm like, okay, hit and not get hit. So I decided to not get hit. And then I went through a phase of really going away from the fight. You know what I'm saying? It was like disengaging more than what I needed to be, more than what I needed. And I was not sending the right message. So, again, the message I want is complete control in the fight. And of course, the goal of fighting is to administer enough damage to incapacitate my opponent. And for me, I want to do it as fast as possible. So I can't do that shit going backwards. So I've honed those skills defensively, evasively, and they all plug in like Legos to my offense. So, man, I'm ready to. I've been ready, but this last couple of years, man, all these injuries have really allowed me time to sit down and really mentalize all the things that I need to mentalize, doing the shadow work, if you will, before I get in on the mats to try to apply myself physically. And it's fun though, you know what I'm saying? And it's very fun because it's always a learning process. There's always a part or a point that I can focus on that I need to get better right there. And naturally, it's your teammates who are the mirrors for you. The other parts within the mind, the other components of God's imagination, if you will, or whatever, any fancy word, but the teammates that shine that light on your discrepancies, if you will, you know, or that may show you different parts that may make you better.
They're flames of the fire that make your blade sharper.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You take two matches, you put them together, you're gonna get a bigger flame.
Nice.
Absolutely. So
that's just like doing drills or bag drills. Like your blade is only getting as sharp as hard as you put it. You know?
Yeah.
So you can do bag drills or drills with your mind kind of elsewhere and half-ass it, or if you need 100% present and go accurate quality repetitions, and that blade is gonna get sharper than the guy next to you who's fucking around and not taking it serious.
Yeah.
Whose mind is elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these sports specifically, is that they hold you accountable for your mind being present.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your health is at risk when your mind goes elsewhere. So you're be very present here. I actually seen the fights almost get like a little bit higher quality over the last year when they removed the crowd. I noticed that. I'm like, it'd be interesting to see how the cards would be when they removed the crowd. The first few fights, like all the cards were actually pretty. The performances were pretty wow. The one common denominator was they took away the crowd. And I wonder if that has any effect on the fighter's psyche as far as allowing them to be more present in that cage instead of, you know, their mind worrying about all the people watching and the lights and the camera. If they're able to be more present, so therefore they were able to perform a shade or two better. You know what I mean?
I know as a spectator, I was definitely more focused on what the fighters were doing. You know, you didn't hear the crowd. Of course, you had the commentary, but the commentary was also focused on the fighters as well, and the dynamics of not having the crowd. They were always highlighting that shit. And you're absolutely right, man. The first cards, like from start to finish, those guys were going in there and they were dialed in, and they were putting on shows. They were putting on high-level shows, high-level competition. So that was really interesting to see unfold. And then when we went to Abu Dhabi, of course, no crowd. I think for me, it's kind of hard to make a distinguishment. I mean, it's easy, but it's still kind of hard to make a distinguishment between the way I performed with a crowd or without a crowd. Because when I'm in there going to work, I'm not worrying about anything or nothing, you know? So
like, what are like pros and cons of both, you think?
Well, like I said, the energy that you can get from a crowd
for sure
can definitely roll over into a fight.
Yeah.
You know, it can also play against you as well. You know what I'm saying? You can get excited out there and get into a thing and not perform the way you want to, right? So, I mean, it can work on both ways. I guess it's just a matter of the person who is, of course, having that experience. For me, man, again, it's complete control. So I'm not gonna give that control to anybody or anything unless I want them to have that control. So if the crowd's giving me good energy or bad energy, I'm gonna see it, analyze it, and do what I need to do to create the outcome that I need. So when I went to Brazil, and they was all like, "Ooh, vamos hell," or however they say that shit.
That was crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Completely unfazed by the energy. And if anything, maybe slightly invigorated at the aspect that all these people want me to lose. They just don't know who the hell they talking to. You know what I'm saying? Wrong, yeah. So I was more than happy to show them that, you know what I'm saying, show them physically on the outside what I see in myself on the inside. You know what I'm saying? That I'm able to go in here and take your idol and make him look like the man, anybody out the street. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't even open up on them. Those were just leg kicks.
For sure.
So,
only 11 of them.
Yeah, 11 of them. Yeah. 11 kicks. Yeah. So,
yeah, that was awesome. That was great. That's a real good moment.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So, like Rob said, you know what? We've only shown, bits of what I'm capable. I've only shown bits of what I'm capable of. We've only been able to show the fractions of what we've been working on. You know what I'm saying? What I'm capable of, and then what we're working on. Put that shit together. We got a belt coming on. We definitely have a belt coming. So I'm excited, man. I love it. I love the journey that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I love the atmosphere that I'm able to do this in.
Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to do it, you know what I'm saying, if I didn't have all you guys around me, you know what I'm saying, pushing me, you know, making sure I'm on the right track, not letting me, you know, keep me accountable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm accountable for myself, so a lot of the guys around me don't have to do that extra work to, you know, slap me on the back of my head and call me on the phone and do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I love what I do. I love this. I love getting up in the morning, going in and working out, letting my heart rate get as high trying to get my heart rate as high as it can. I'm not looking at it. I need to look at it, but I know it's getting up there. You know, putting in the work, getting on these mats, you know, dumping gallons of sweat on these mats.
Yeah.
You know, working with my team, sharpening the tools. You know, shit, man. Getting into firefights without getting burned.
Yeah.
You know, because I trust my team and they trust me. That's very important as well. You know, we're literally doing that. We're in firefights, and sometimes you're gonna get burned. You know, shit happens.
Yeah.
But you know, again, man, I trust my team. I love my team, and these guys are
And that energy in there is crazy.
the energy is crazy, dude. Yeah,
It's unreal.
the energy is crazy.
So you guys synced up here, right, at the lab?
Yeah.
It dropped what, like 3 years or 4 years for you? What was it?
I've been here with these guys for 5 years now.
5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jared, where'd you come with the lab?
I came. Was it 2017? I moved down 2017.
Gotcha.
But
So y'all basically came at around the same time.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, about a year. You came about a year before me.
Yeah, and that was funny when you said, like, because, like, you know, I used to watch, like, you know, the show with,
The Ultimate Fighter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know, Rob was in the gym and stuff, and, like, I didn't really put the two together, you know? And then, like, you know, we were hanging out, lifting and stuff, and then I was just like, one day I was like, oh, man, yeah, he goes way back, you know? You're right, bro. And then the same thing with you, though, Jared, like, because, you know, I'm a fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you look a lot different, you know, physically.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I was like, what the hell? What's going on around here, you know? But no, it was all good, and like, but that's something too. That's, you know, a compliment to you guys. You know, you're not running around the gym like, you know, some, you know, guys can get egos, treat people like fucking shit.
Yeah.
And plus, this is like a fight game, you know, which is, you know, there's peacocking, all those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I was like, it was just like your regular guys at the gym. We're just training hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't like, you know, kind of like, you know, my show, my gym, any of that kind of shit.
Oh,
Yeah, and you get a lot of that in a lot of these gyms.
And that's just, you know, it speaks volumes about you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I tell everyone, man, I say this place, the lab, man, it's a special place. I say it freaking probably on every podcast. It's like an MIT or a Stanford of violence. I mean, it really is. It's a university. It's a university of the martial arts. And that's a mental. I mean, that martial arts is mental. It's a school of physical psychology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got a lot of brilliant professors under that roof. You know what I mean? And I mean, just the conversations you and I have, Jay, and all the guys on the team. We have some very cool, man. Even I feel like we're still training after we're done hitting pads or hitting mitts. You know what I mean? Like just the conversations, we're still like upgrading our minds and just like kind of setting things into place.
There's always a couple little huddles after each training session. You know, maybe they're giving a guy weight cutting advice or even just life advice.
Yeah.
For some of the, you know, speaking of, we got, geez, how many guys are coming up on these cards?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's got to be like 20 guys and girls, excuse me.
Yeah, our guys are staying busy on the road.
Oh, we got Kyler.
Yep, Kyler's fighting tomorrow.
He's a co-main now.
Yep.
They moved him on up.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I think he's going to give him a show, you know?
Good for him.
Matrix is going to Matrix.
He's a good that's a good co-main event right there. I mean, Matrix is a good main event. He's going to be a good main event.
Oh, he's wild.
Yeah.
He will deliver.
He's so good.
He will deliver
absolutely.
every time he performs. Every time he steps on the ring, he's going to deliver.
Yep.
That's freaking awesome.
Dude, he was our first pod.
Man. I was
For the season 2?
For season 1.
Oh, season 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
all we ever did.
Oh,
Yeah. He's down, bro.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We had no idea what we're doing there. It was like...
He's a true student. Kyler is a true student if I've ever seen him.
He's
You know what I
so
mean? Like,
young.
he's so humble, so respectful. He's a true sponge and just sucks up knowledge everywhere he goes. And he's a true student of the game. And it really is an honor to get him to see out there and go. All you guys, everyone sees you guys perform under the bright lights for 15 to 25 minutes, but they don't see all the blood, sweat, and you guys put in here.
It's your life.
You know, week in, week out, day in, day out. And it's awesome to see you guys execute that. Get the glory for all the hard work you guys put in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Kyler tomorrow. That's going to be a freaking blast.
Damn, that's so awesome. You got Coleman. That's huge.
Yeah,
That's more eyes
I
on
think
him, more
they
investment.
just bumped it up. Yeah, so that's going to be really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's just kind of jump into what we touched on a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So Jay, like, what kind of brought up like the switch in weight classes? Were you like kind of organically losing weight, like training, or like was like coach like, hey man, why don't you try 205? I mean, did you even like think of like you like because you did you even think at your height like you could weigh this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you had some like extremes here, and
Yeah. Well, you know, when I was a heavyweight,
Right.
I'm not naturally a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? My bones didn't shrink with I lost the weight. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was never a natural heavyweight. Again, I just don't submit to fear. You know what I'm saying? The fear of losing a fight, the fear of being in a fight with a big man. You know what I'm saying? A man who, has a size and weight advantage over me. I never did, halt my march into the octagon, if you will, or my journey as far as being a martial artist. So, on top of that, I like to eat. So, it was sort of consequential, if you will, me fighting at heavyweight. But after getting into the UFC, and I fought on one card, and there was a bunch of heavyweights. It was in Croatia. I fought on the card that was in Croatia, and it was like 4 heavyweight fights in there. It's 8 heavyweights. And one was Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis, Gabriel Gonzaga, Junior Dos Santos, Ben Rothwell, me, and Cyril Asker.
Goliath.
You know what I'm saying?
Goliath.
It was me on the same card as those dudes. And it wasn't at that point that I decided, I think I'm going to go to 185. But, I was like, eventually I'm going to be fighting one of these dudes. And I don't want to lose another UFC fight because I lost my first one, and that wasn't fun. The first UFC fight I lost was the first fight I had ever lost, and it wasn't fun. So, again, I wasn't discouraged at fighting any of these men. Who knows, in the future, you might see me go up to become a triple champ. But anyway, it was time to get disciplined, to stop going into the UFC octagon without a 6-pack, you know what I'm saying? And give myself more of a chance to be successful at a career that I was willing to quit, a career that I already had to pursue. Mm-hmm. So, so diet changes, of course. waking up early before I have to go to work to put in an hour on the Aerodyne bike. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Running at the trying to get as much working out at the end of my work shift before I go to the gym and do some jiu-jitsu and do some MMA and kickboxing for another 4 hours. So you know, I had to make the sacrifice to do it. Shit. So luckily I had the support. You know, when I was living, I had the support of my family, my wife, of course, holding it down, and you know, making it possible for me to be away for that amount of time, for those, you know, all those days. Cooking the food, you know, making the juices and shit, helping me dial the diet in. She got on the internet, did some studying. I found these juices. This is what this fruits do for you. This is what that food does for you. Really changed our idea of how we eat food. I used to eat food because it tasted good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like fast food.
Yeah, man.
Name it.
I used to be a fat motherfucker, dude.
What's the most you said you weighed?
I was over.
You want to go on record?
Yeah, I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight at heart.
Yeah.
But I was 200 plus at my max. You know,
300 plus, right?
I said, did I say 200? I was 300 plus at my max. I was 300 plus at my max. Yeah.
Plus, bro.
So that was when I first started training when I moved to Alaska, and we got settled in up there.
Well, how old were you?
I was 25 when I moved up there. Yeah.
Think about that, man. Think about, and you're what, 36?
I'm 37 now.
37. So 12 years. How different just your physical body. That's incredible.
That's where all your bone density comes from.
And you walked around at that weight too.
That's where your density comes from.
Well, all my brothers, both of my brothers are bigger than me. You know.
Nice.
And my
Are
cousins.
you the youngest or oldest?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah, and my cousins. I had a cousin playing in the NFL.
Sweet.
I got other cousins that we just got naturally athletic.
None of you guys
genes.
hold pads for him, so none of you know. Brendan's seen me hold pads for him. He watches when we go Tuesdays, Thursdays. The force and power behind this guy's shots are just
Exceptional.
you can see the power just by watching me hold these pads for him.
Eat it.
And when people don't address, like, its bone density is such a huge thing. I can feel the density of his knuckles when he hits the focus maker. I feel the density of his shin when he hits the tie pad. And I'm telling you, with no mitt and no shin guard, I mean, there's no reason why Anderson Silva's leg broke, and these other guys drop and get dismantled. Jack Hermanson, all these other guys, like, man, I think there's a lot of damage that you're going to do these guys in this fight coming up and then in the future, and that, like, damage that people haven't seen. You know what I mean?
For
you
real.
can break guys and shut them down with just one of your shots landing. You know what I mean? And you have the eyes, the vision to get close and pull the trigger or know when to slip out. You got a strong iron guard. You got long limbs, long weapons that guys don't even experience until it's too late and they're already in there with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But man, that bone density is the one thing that sticks out with me when I work with you, is just, God, the weight and power behind his shots. And he has all this fast twitch muscle on top of these dense ass bones. And that's what makes him so fucking explosive and dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I look around, see some of the guys' faces when I hold pads through. Some of them, their mouths are open, their jaws just drop, just like. I mean, seriously, you see it every day. Man, I think you have a whole title legacy to look forward to. You know what I mean? I think if you truly want to go snatch 3 of these things in 3 different weight classes, I got all the faith in the world in you.
I'm manifesting a belt with 16 of those red jewels.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So whether I defend at 205, 85, or higher than that, man, 16 red jewels. 16 of those red jewels, man.
Are you not going to get the belt and retire?
No, hell no. I'm gonna go as long as this physical vessel will keep me going.
That's what's up.
And I just gotta do the things to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Put in the right foods, like I was saying. Putting in the right foods and shit. So that's what it was. That's you know, the drop from heavyweight to 205 was a conscious effort. You know, so I plan on sticking it out at 205 because I can still eat good and make weight easy.
Get a little bit of both.
Yep. And then I fought what was his name? Glover Teixeira. That's who I fought. Yeah, that's when I fought Glover Teixeira. And you know, the guy, just what's the word? Scraped me across the mat. Yeah. After that fight, 3 rounds. Yeah. After that fight, I had mat burn on my back, like 2 little straps of mat burn on my back. So I put my shirt on, and it'll, ooze a clear gel and stick, or it'll dry out, and then if I move, it'll crack open. Yeah. So that shit was fun. That was a good little learning lesson on how not to let people hold you down on the mat for 3 rounds, and then and that's when I decided I need to move to a bigger gym, that has more complete. That caters more to professional mixed martial artists. So through some connections that were already down here at the lab, I decided to, hey, let's go down here and check it out. Came down here, felt the program out, and already knew in my mind. I already did the equations in my mind. If I move down here and dedicate myself to this consistent program, I'm gonna be a champion. And I remember saying that in my first interview I did with the UFC. Here we are, right at the cusp of being right back there to grab that thing.
Yeah, it's like real good.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to move it down here, man. The program being as good as it is, the work that is required of you to be a elite level mixed martial artist. The program, if you inject yourself into the program will inject that into you. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I did. Just did whatever I was supposed to do. Two a days, 3 times, sometimes 3 a days if I'm feeling good and the body's feeling good. But just putting in that work, putting in the work consistently, and the fucking work that we're doing with the pro team just kept knocking the weight off. And eventually, I was making weight 3 days before, I was making weight flying in to fight week and shit. So, 185 was a no-brainer at that point. And then I made my descent. Now I'm making my ascent.
Beautiful.
Do you feel like the diet change or the lifestyle change? Like you can feel physically the different in your energy levels, your ability to control your thoughts and all that. Has it changed when you switch to a more plant-based, fruit-based, energy-based diet?
I think when you eat clean fruit, plants, I think it's like living in high definition as opposed to living on non-high definition TVs. You feel me?
Or black and white even.
Yeah. So it's like things are a little fuzzy. And if you're not attuned to it, you won't even realize it. That's how people can eat shit all day long.
That's just life.
And then, you feel you're sick. You're poisoning yourself. And that stuff is having an effect. You've just been doing it for so long that you've just learned how your body has learned how to protect you from the suffering that you're doing to yourself. Until it's too late.
That's real, yeah.
So I liken it to that. I'm not saying that I'm the cleanest eater because I do eat meat. I find there are benefits to eating meat, especially as a competitor in a combat sport.
Sure.
I think that you would have to eat so many nuts, beans, fruits, and vegetables to maintain the weight and energy you would need to do the work that I do.
Of course.
Because I bust my ass every time. 2 or 3 times a day is gonna be I'm gonna be sweating. I'm gonna lose about 3, 4, 5, maybe even 7 pounds of sweat.
Yeah.
So I find that for my body that if I eat meat, I don't have to eat as much meat. I don't eat as much meat, but I can eat meat and then of course eat the other clean stuff because I need the vitamins and other medicinal components that food has for us.
Yeah.
So I eat some meat, but I do regulate it and I do limit it. I'm conscious of how much meat I eat. I'm definitely conscious of where I get it from.
Yeah, that's
sure.
That's
Sources.
Yeah, and I'm conscious of how I prepare it. So again, with the help of my wife, and of course it's not perfect. I have 3 children in my house, and they're not going to be,
Snacks got in there.
I'm not going to make them eat the way I eat, but I'm not going to feed them the garbage that they would want to eat on a constant basis. So it's a learning process of me trying to do it, me doing it for myself, and then me trying to give that information to young people who want to eat, you know, cereal and all kinds of crap like that.
I think you touched base good on the energy that's required of you for your day in, day out routines. Yeah. I think a lot of these diets out there, like including the vegan and alkaline diet, these are great for people that they're not pro athletes. They can sit at home and meditate and fast and do this all day, but they're not going to go to an art gallery or some shit and go lift. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I think it is a fine line of, you know, blending all the knowledge together and finding out what formula works best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you got it down. I say you got it down now, Jay. I say you got it down, man.
The weight cut is easy, man. The weight cuts to 185 have been easy. Of course, it sucks to get hot and sweat. And I dehydrate myself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But not to the point where I've seen some of these guys do it to try to make it. You know what I'm saying? Dude. I won't do that. I won't damage my internal organs in order to make weight. In order to try to get an advantage in the fight. I'm not that trying. I don't need that much of an advantage. You feel me? You know, I'm gonna whoop your ass, whether you're big, small. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It don't matter. Luckily, we got regulations and, you know, officials and shit that make sure it's safe for everybody.
Virtually identical.
Yeah. But I'll fight a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll fight a heavyweight. I ain't scared. And I know I can beat a heavyweight.
What do you think you'd come in at? Like 225, 230?
I'll probably come in like 215. Yeah. Because I would have to eat extra to get my weight up there. Yeah. Like right now, I haven't changed my diet and I'm trying to consciously eat clean. You know what I'm saying? I'm not eating takeout or anything like that. But of course, we're preparing food and shit at home.
Yeah.
You know, and of course the stuff that I've been getting that I would get from you.
Yeah, for sure.
But right now I've been waking up at 210, and after workouts I'm well under the light heavyweight limit.
That's healthy. That's healthy. That's a healthy walk around weight division now.
Yeah. So there being 4 weeks out, that gives me, that's 2 weeks of leeway right there. You know, of not having to, you know, count every leaf of spinach I'm putting on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't do, but because again, if I had to do that, I wouldn't be cutting that weight, man. That's not the weight. That's not the weight class for me.
That's like hocus pocus.
A lot of people count calories. They're calories in, calories out. I think it's different. I don't think it's the kind of. I think it's make the calories count. Don't count the calories. Make the calories count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. You can get calories from a fucking loaf of bread, and you get calories from, you know, an alkaline super-free. You get calories from different sources. The quality of the source is what's going to give you the better fuel for the energy that's required of you. You know what I mean?
And then, dude, how many fucking calories do you burn in a wrestling practice?
Oh my God!
I mean, can you even measure that shit?
You can. Some guys wear the things and stuff like that.
Are that accurate?
It has to be
for some people.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, for some people, but I think I think they are pretty accurate.
Some people wear those shits and they'll like walk around and they, you know, say they're a server in a restaurant or something. They're like, "Oh, I walked 8 miles." I go, "No, you didn't." I go, "Who the hell told you that? Your watch?" I go, "You didn't walk 8 miles." Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe that's different because you're going like side to side, not just in a straight line. Maybe it doesn't know how to, you know, measure that distance. And I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know.
But I know I could burn about maybe.
But it's incredible, like
2,000-3,000 calories.
At least. At least.
That's a big gap, 2,000 to 3,000.
It's double your original number.
That's about a whole nother hour right there. Shit.
Maybe 1,500 to 2,500. In that range. Good hard Tuesday, Thursday wrestling practice. Because in an hour bag class, like a cardio bag class, people can burn close to 1,000 calories. Yeah. And that's just a bag class. You know what I mean? Yeah. A 5 and 6 o'clock class. So depending on how hard you work for that hour. So give it an hour and a half of freaking grinding bodies in there. The heat's turned up. We're fucking grinding. You know, I think for sure it's closer to 2,000.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That's a workload.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know, that's a hard ass day.
That weight cut too is interesting. Like how it affects the performance of these guys. I'm finding out, and I think a big deal of how these weight cuts affect the athlete is it removes when they're doing these drastic weight cuts, they're removing water from the fascia, right? And the fascia is the tissue that's between the muscle and the bone. So what allows the muscle to do our body to do our athletic movements. And when the water is taken out of that, I think it takes more than 24 hours for the fascia to get rehydrated in order for the fighter to perform. That is why guys like Frankie Edgar had such a successful run, because they weren't cutting. He wasn't cutting as much weight as opposition.
Yeah.
So he was able to perform against these bigger guys, but his fascia, he was able to be more athletic and execute things more. You know what I mean?
He was known for being able to do what he do in the first round and the fifth round. Whereas most guys are slowing down at the end of the first, they're slowing down halfway into the second.
For sure.
They're coming out in the third. Hopefully they got some minutes, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, yeah, cardio for me, man, again, that's one of the things that I checked off. Defense and cardio, two of the things I checked off in the fight, because I ain't trying to get my ass kicked. And if I'm tired, it's real easy to kick somebody. If you're tired, it's real easy to get your ass kicked.
You go to shit. Yeah.
And I was a heavyweight, and during that time, Cain Velasquez was a champ. So that's the mountain right there I got to clown. So while I'm here on this treadmill, I'm thinking about whooping his ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about outworking him. You know?
He was like a bigger version of Frankie Edgar. He was like a smaller guy in his division, but put on the same kind of pressure and the same kind of aggressive as Frankie Edgar, but in a higher weight class.
Yeah.
You just to put it on him.
Yep.
Excellent. Good mentality, though. Go after that. Attack the top of the mountain there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't finna they weren't finna call my phone and be like, hey, all right, here's your chance, bro.
but you gotta be aware, like, what division you're in, the goals.
But I was working to put myself in that position, though.
Right.
So why look at, the local champ when, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to be better than that guy right there. That's what I'm trying to be better than. So let's see everything he's doing and how he's doing it. And how they're doing it, and how everybody else is doing it, and then one has to be smart enough to. I'm smart enough to be able to make my own decisions to put myself in the right place. So that's why I quit that 6-figure job that I had in Alaska to move down here, so I can wake up and be happy and be happy to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not have to rush out, but sit and chill and stretch my body out and get ready to come in here and have some more fun. And do some more hard work, but that I love to do. That's fun.
You did did you do IT or what was it? I'm sorry.
I was air traffic control equipment repair in the Army.
Nice.
And I did essentially the same thing. They got all these different alphabet nomenclatures that they have, to make their
sound better.
Yeah, because you get that federal money, dude. Get that federal pay grade.
Yeah.
I was an ATSS, Airway Transportation System Specialist, bro.
Yeah, they put it. They let them know.
Yep, all these alphabets, I wouldn't know anything. All these alphabets, I wouldn't know anything about that. And that's why federal people get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It's kind of like they code information and give it to specific people, and then pay them a fuckload of money, right? That's Western society, though, right?
Yeah. Man, what a trip.
Well, I feel information should be free. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to learn how to be a helicopter pilot, but let me shut up.
There's too much power. There's too much power with this knowledge. That's why they don't want it to be free, because they don't fucking want us to have the knowledge. Because what we would do with it?
Yeah.
They would lose their position. They would become one of us.
You know what? Right? You know what would happen if the common man had all that information? You would have people like the Wright brothers fucking learning how to create rockets and stuff, and then the federal government knocking on their door saying, "Hey, man, let's work together."
Yeah.
That's what they should have. That's what we should have.
Yeah.
Instead of having to go and get in debt, or not go get in debt because of fear of getting in debt, and not get the education that could potentially liberate, or advance humanity to a different level.
For sure.
So instead of hoarding all the information and the true wealth, you know what I'm saying? Not the fiat wealth, but the true wealth, the information. That's what they're hoarding.
Yeah.
When you hoard that, you release that to the common people, and of course, laws, stipulations, so people don't do dumb shit and blow the freaking world up, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to have an army to make sure that you're not going to do this.
Slippery slope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boy, if you do, I mean, but if you can do something innovative, then hi, I'm Agent, John Smith.
Well, bro, I mean,
Let's work together.
in a crazy way, So, say you make, Connonier's necklaces or something, right?
Uh-huh.
And you put it on Amazon, and they just go,
Yeah.
right? Like, making bags of money. So what Amazon does, they buy one of yours, see how you made it, go to a factory, make it cheaper, and they put them above you.
Oh, sons of bitches. Those motherfuckers. That's what they do, huh?
But you got to pay Amazon to be on their site, but Amazon's not gonna pay itself.
So this is where you get all these off-brands of I see.
Fucking crazy, right?
Okay, my time to shine. Now we're talking about knowledge. Knowledge and suppressed knowledge.
I will edit that part up a little bit.
So, whoever is listening to this, one of the most profound things you will ever read in your entire life, I promise you, the most empowering piece of literature you'll ever hold in your hands would be this book right here, The Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Right? The Emerald Tablets. I highly suggest anyone to go on Amazon and order that book,
Nice.
or as well the version of Billy Carson.
Is it inverted? Is that backwards?
No, you're good.
Yeah. Get this cover, look for this book specifically, and the version by Billy Carson. Right? The knowledge contained in this book is from Thoth, right? Thoth was dubbed a god, and again, I use that term very loosely by the ancient Egyptians, right? This term god just means, is a vocabulary word used to describe a being, right? And it's crazy. The knowledge contained within these emerald tablets is basically a blueprint of what we are as a species, what we are capable of, and what this planet is, and what this universe is, and what the heck, and what they're not telling us in the school systems, the religious institutions, and these it's crazy. What they're not telling us is the most profound shit out there. It's wild. It explains how the pyramids were built. Essentially, it's all knowledge from Atlantis. You know what I mean? The Greek version of Thoth was Hermes. You know what I mean? Anyone that studied philosophy knows Socrates. Socrates writes about Hermes in his writings. Anyone that's a math fan knows who Pythagoras is. Pythagoras writes about Thoth in his writings. Tesla writes about Hermes, that he had visitations with him in his laboratory. So anyone that's watching, I get a lot of people hitting me up on Instagram and coming up in classes talking about this stuff. If you want to empower yourself and know more than I can even offer you here, and know more than any professor that you've ever had, read the Emerald Tablets. And it says, even if you don't understand these things, understand to read it, just to keep reading it. And you have to read it 100 times in your lifetime, and something happens to you. I believe you have a genetic and a conscious upgrade when you read these tablets. You know what I mean? They're in the form of a emerald tablet that's 36,000 years old. That's in the language of Atlantis. And it says signs and symbols that speak to you telepathically. But it's crazy. I can't even, if speaking about it doesn't do it justice. I'm a humble student at the most, and that's all I'll say about it. Just go purchase the Emerald Tablets, get into that, read that. Me, Jay, and a lot of the guys, including Kyler's on the team, has read them all, and it kind of changes reality for you a little bit, and removed a lot of fear from reality. I truly can say I walk this life now without fearing anything. Forget a man, or of course, I don't fear nothing, not anything. You know what I mean? I don't drive I don't wear a seatbelt when I drive. I don't suggest it. You guys do, but you know what I mean? It's a mindset. If you believe anything will happen to you, then there's no such thing as chance, right? There's no such thing as luck or chance.
Yeah,
and if I wear a seatbelt, then I'm admitting that there's a chance that something bad might happen to me. But in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that there is no chance. Just like that motherfucker scaled the fucking, was it El Capitan with no fucking rope? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He fell one time, he's dead, but he says the possibility of me falling is not part of my reality.
And like, dude,
You know what I mean?
and like, say like it's the day you go up there, and just say like a bird took a big shit and some, that's so like those. But they just not have the fear to overcome.
Yeah,
and,
the
like,
what
the
ifs.
confidence in your ability to be like.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name's Alex? Something, I forget his name. Man, that.
But inspirational
God.
story, you know what I mean, about the human mind, the power of the mind. He went out, he snuck out like 4 a.m. and went up there when the cameras weren't watching him, and he did it. And there's another guy, the same thing, who accomplished all the the climbs did it. And one day he fucking lost a finger even, and he had to learn how to reclimb and build his grip strength after losing a finger, and still conquered all this shit. Like,
Yeah, they're wild.
the power, what we're capable of when we apply our mind. There's things in here that you wouldn't fucking believe. If I told you what you're capable of doing, you wouldn't believe. You would say that guy's fucking crazy. He's lost his shit. Real shit. You know what I mean? I just, including and not limited to immortality, and I mean real immortality. I talked about in this book. It talks about how your cells are shaped like a sphere and the planet is shaped like a sphere, and your cells have a negative charge on the inside and a positive charge on the outside. Well, this planet has a magnetic north and a magnetic south pole, so there's a correlation between our cells and these planets. That's what the whole "as above, so below" concept comes from in alchemy. There's a if this is truly the mind of God, then even the below down here in the cellular microcosm is 1000% connected to the macrocosm, the planets and the universe and the galaxies. Well, the universe says, I should say. There's a correlation. It's one and the same.
Yeah.
Because the furthest sun and the furthest galaxy and the furthest universe is still part of the mind of God, as we are right now in this truck having this conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And quantum physics has actually proven that there's no separation in the particles that make up this truck and these clothes we have on and these microphones. Then there's no difference in the particles that make up this than make up the sun in the furthest galaxy and the furthest solar system. You know what I mean? These particles are linked. There's a connection. As above, so below. There's a link here. You know what I mean? And the governing factor of this, whatever this may be, the mind of God, the governing factor is our mind, is our consciousness. You know what I mean? The governing factor for you and your experience is your consciousness. The governing factor for me and my experience is my consciousness, and so on and so on. You know what I mean?
That's at least for me, that's the sign of verification, if you will. Consciousness, right? That my consciousness, or my level of, or my mode of perception, if you will, is just like yours, but different because it's from this vessel and from this position in space and time, and had this experiences, and is shaped by all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the particles, you know what I'm saying? The particles are no different. You feel me? The particles that make up my consciousness, that it's yeah, those particles are distinct, if you will. You feel me? Now we can start talking about collective consciousness and shit like that, right?
Sure.
And a whole bunch of other things can come from that right there. But
For sure.
with that knowledge right there, with that knowledge alone, if everybody had that knowledge, and then we so decided to create, I don't know, whatever, man, a tree that bears fruits and vegetables, right?
Okay.
You know what? We don't want that. We want something natural. That's some chimeric Frankenstein type shit right there.
Monsanto.
But yeah, we don't want nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But something that would help the earth be better at being earth. You feel me?
Exactly.
And if earth is good, if we can make earth better, if we can help earth be better at being earth, because we can't make it, because earth sustains itself. Right? And it sustains us. So if we decided collectively to clean this fucking place up, you know, stop dirtying up the house, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And not letting people bring dirt from the outside inside. That's a whole nother conversation right there for those who are in the know. But you know, man, collective consciousness, man. I think that's where, you know, we have these pretty words, unity and all this other stuff like that, but we need to dig deeper into it and call it what it really is. Be very precise with our words. You know what I'm saying? We can't say this to try to make people feel a certain way. We need to give them direct information, and then whatever their minds do with that information is what they're accountable for, right? Now, anybody who wants the better, who wants what's best for themselves, as well as their neighbor, as well as the dirt, the trees, the air, the birds, and shit like that, will be right on board with making this best place a better place.
Man, that's exactly what Thoth has done, and he's appeared to all these different civilizations in different forms. You know, in South American, he was known as the god Quetzalcoatl. Well, before he appeared to the South Americans, they were a cannibal race, and they lived in mud huts. Well, he came out of the sea dressed in armor clad that looked like seashells, and he taught them agriculture and art and science, and rose them up to the civilization that we know as the Mayans and the Incas. Well, he did the same thing with the Egyptians, and you know, Hermes did it in Greece and raised them up. And it's his I'm not going to say job, but his aim was to, like you said, help the Earth and its collective species, the human race, help us and aid us in our advancement through evolution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here, come out of the mud, stop eating each other and living in mud huts. Here's some agriculture, here's science, here's math. Now we start operating in the image of the creator, which we're designed to be. You know what I mean? That's what this whole experience, incarnation experience is. It's about raising the collective consciousness of us as a species, as well as the consciousness of this planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's pretty gnarly concepts, you know what I mean? But
it really is, but it's written out in reality. When you look at how nature operates, you know, a tree bears fruit, right? But before it can bear fruit, Earth sustains it with water, protection with dirt. You know what I'm saying? A genetic, and it's I'm not gonna go too far, but it has a genetic signature that, you know, that distinguishes it from any other manifestation in this environment, and potentially protect itself from anything else. Like plants grow thorns, snakes have fangs, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
You see the tree grow like sideways. Like it just does.
It gets more sun with it. There's a tree right here, and I get more sun over there. So stuff like that.
Well,
That's how.
The vortex is up in Sedona. Some of the trees that were within the vortex, they twist. Branches twist and shit. It's kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
It's kind of crazy.
That is really crazy because to see how, because if you really diagnose or analyze how a plant grows and how it grows at a very slow rate, but it doesn't move or deviate for no reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if those things are twisting like that, moving and deviating, the way this thing is doing it for a specific reason, and that thing is maybe trying to find the energy. Yeah. Find energy, and that's what plants do. There's a sun. Let me just grow this way, like you just said.
Even treetops. If you watch look at a mountain and watch the trees and then watch the sun pass the tips of the trees throughout the day, they'll lean towards the sun and try to get more of that sunlight, as if they're alive, as if they're conscious, aware.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it's crazy shit, dude.
Beautiful, nice.
Yeah. So I was just talking about collective consciousness with humans, but I think humans need to develop a collective consciousness with the earth.
Nice.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And like I was saying, we see the template. The plants and trees grow, and then they bear fruit to sustain those within this environment. And those who consume the fruit spread the seed to fucking make more plants, so the plant survives. The other sentient fucking things around it survive. We ain't got the freaking monkey ain't got to fight the tree to get a freaking apple out of it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what we need to get back to, instead of relying on ourselves to provide for ourselves while we destroy the things that's providing for us. You know what I'm saying? We're ravaging the seas, just over consuming meat and shit. We don't need to be consuming meat the way we consume.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you know what I'm saying? We should be consuming more. People should be consuming more plant. We should all be on more plant-based diets.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so with as much people eating burgers and from all these different things, you got to question, now where is all this meat coming from? Because cows do not fucking bear children at the rate that we're eating. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know, imagine if we're eating people, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, damn, we ain't gonna have enough people to sustain ourselves.
I think factory farming. I think it's important to stay away from factory assembly line farming. You know, all the fast food places. Get your meat from like a butcher shop. It's a grass-fed cow. And keep it in your freezer, and just, you know what I mean.
And now you got to start talking about what they're doing to these animals, right?
Oh, bro.
You know, so, and not even. And then we're talking about they're injecting them with this and we're feeding them that, but imagine how that cow, because this cow is conscious, even though it's born in an artificial
Dude,
in an artificial environment.
you've seen the guy with he's got the truck and he's got all the hogs in the back. And the one hog's like, I'm out of here, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Because they know it's over, dude.
Yeah. They know
They're
it's
aware
going.
they're getting clipped.
So they're born in these artificial fucking buildings.
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? They can't eat what they naturally want to eat, so they gotta settle and eat the slop that we feed them.
You know what they do to the chickens?
I don't even want to know. You know what I'm saying? To be honest.
So to make them lay more eggs, they mess with the lights, so they think it's like time to lay eggs constantly.
Really?
So they're constantly laying eggs.
See?
And like that's why the egg isn't. That's why they're,
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's not supposed to make it like that. It's like you.
Yeah, we have someone that has a farm, so they bring us eggs weekly. So
Yeah.
we use those. Even with those, I still try to use the egg white.
Yeah. And that's what I want. I would want to have my own farm. So if I so decide to have meat, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be an animal that I brought up, something that and he's going to have a good fucking life, or she, or whatever. It ain't going to be, okay, I feel like having a steak. Let's take you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
At least that's not, I don't think my wife or her mother-in-law would allow. They'd be like, this is Betsy when Betsy's, run her course and she's, lived her life.
On the table.
Yeah. But no.
That's a good point, though. I mean, it's definitely, there is a conscious element of these animals that is very true.
Yeah.
You see the fear of
that we have to be aware of.
They can die, and then that fear can get trapped in the meat.
Yeah.
That changes the flavor of the meat, even. You know what I mean? And
that's just that big disconnect we have from reality, right?
Yeah.
They put us in this matrix, so we don't have to think about. We don't have to think about where we're getting all this, where this stuff's come from, where this iPhones, where the stuff in his iPhones come from.
Right, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Where all the stuff in his trucks are, where the stuff for the concrete come from, where they get all this from, and what did they put on top of it?
Sure.
What did they put it on top of? But yeah, I don't want to get all on the bad side of it. I go down rabbit holes, man.
There's two sides
and I like
of the
to
coin.
point out what the hell is going on.
There's two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Know both, I hear you, though.
But with all that being said, I am definitely grateful to be in the position that I am,
Nice.
to live in the country that I live in.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? To have the ability to say the shit that I can say, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people around the world who are still in bondage. You feel me?
for sure.
And just like those animals we were just talking about, So for me, man, after becoming aware and really putting, using my consciousness for what it is and connecting to each and everything that I've ever experienced or ever observed, like those animals we just talked about, my teammates, you guys, these, like right over here on the corner, these homeless people we see on the street, you know what I'm saying, trying to not necessarily experience what they experience, but connect with these people, you know what I'm saying, in that manner, if you will, using my consciousness to do that, because understanding that their consciousness too, and what would it be like to be in that position, you know what I'm saying? And really just understanding, waking up, because I used to just walk through my day trying to find the next thing that's going to satiate me, whether it's food or entertainment, visual entertainment, audio entertainment, you know what I'm saying, physical entertainment.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That on top of being a Christian and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But yeah, man, I think martial arts has allowed me to really learn how to analyze myself in a very profound manner. And that's one thing martial arts definitely does for anybody who ever wants to get into it. It sort of forces that self-analysis. Now, if you apply that self-analysis, the ability to analyze yourself to the other factors of yourself, or the other faculties of yourself, why do I think like this? Why do I have the urge like that? Why do I be like that? And then learning about this shit, like your endocrine system and the hormones and all that stuff, and stuff like that, then that level of awareness will, for me, I feel will give one more control over this simulation we've been put in, this mental thought simulation that we are in. And that's what you want. If you are in the mind and you are in control of the mind, because you can create anything in your imagination.
For sure.
Right? Now imagine if you are in imagination, if you want to call it that, imagination land. If we're in imagination land and I have the power to create what I want, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I have moral boundaries. I want the best for each and everyone around me. So what would I create with that ability, with that power, with that realization? You know? And I think that's what it is. It's going to be a realization. You know, everybody, you know, because I think that's what it is. You know, I think this is the reality that we live in.
Yeah.
And we forgot. We forgot what the hell we are and what we're doing here. And we're trying to find that thing that makes us feel like we're back at the source. When we were never really separated from the source. We were only distracted from it.
Yeah.
Well put. Real well put.
It's beautiful.
Real well put.
But now that I feel like I'm more so, if I'm not connected with the source, I'm at least looking at it and I'm trying to take steps to get closer and closer to it.
Yeah.
Right? That knowledge alone, that awareness alone, and of course my own accountability for myself, and the people the people around me who hold me accountable. I forgot the fucking point I was trying to make. With that knowledge, one is able to take control of could be able to take control of their reality and create what it is that they need. Of course, with the boundaries, you know, we have boundaries, physical boundaries and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be able to I might not be able to just up and levitate today, not yet, but you know, I would love to have that Superman realization where I realize, oh shit, you know, shit.
Kind of already do.
Human potentials, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
they say these ascended alchemists are able to manipulate matter, walk through walls, and appear and disappear. Things that we will call magic, which actually explain quantumly speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, cell phone would have been magic, you know, during the Renaissance era. They would have been, no, we can understand how that thing works now. Well,
Right.
man, it's crazy, dude.
You know, we talked today a lot about like energy and stuff. Are you guys at all familiar with Alex Gray?
Alex Gray, man.
He's an artist. I gotta show you some of these pictures and stuff. Bro, they're sick. Have you seen them?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, bro, they're sweet. It's more of like I think it'll be a good visual representation of some energy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got in a YouTube wormhole like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Diving. I'm gonna throw it your way. So that's a
Okay.
little. I digress a little there. But yeah, man, that artist, man, he makes these beautiful visual representations, and they display energy,
Okay.
and they're universal. You know, like he shows them to people all over the world. He does. He seems to do like almost like TED Talks and stuff. He's got a wife and stuff, and they do these things. But he's done it for, I think 50 years. He's a little bit older. You know, he's done it for a minute. But yeah, I'll throw some stuff your way. But yeah, man, he's crazy. Even just go to images on Alex Gray. It's like,
What kind of art is it? Like painting art or?
Can you look it up, bro?
Alex Gray.
But
I got it right here.
yeah, it just fire it up. You just right away. You'll be like, oh, it's gonna like touch a chord with you. Man, I'm telling you. But yeah, Rob, do you have any other stuff you want to bring up today?
Ooh.
Yeah, see, bro, hit images on that. Watch. I'm telling you, bro. You're gonna get lost in this.
Hang on.
Oh, I've seen these.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen them before,
for sure.
man.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, watched. Yeah. And like, you know, it's about like awareness, consciousness, outside realm, love, all sorts of things. It's like it's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah. But shoot, I'm sorry, Rob. Dude, do you have any other stuff you want to get fired out today, or what do you?
Nah, man, I think we covered a lot of good shit.
Oh, yeah, dude,
we're good little
We were rolling, dude.
pod. We covered a lot of good stuff. Then we cut the upcoming fight, how camp's been. Kyler's fight tomorrow.
Yeah, and Rob, before you get out of the truck, Jared says he's gonna come by every week and do this. So.
All right, there we go.
Hey, I'm down, bro. I'm down.
No, well, man, I think it's a fucking killer.
Maybe after your fight, after.
Yeah, well, like,
first,
he's a
real
busy
quick.
guy, yeah. But man, dude, Jared, holy fucking shit.
Who knows, man? In one of our huddles we have right there, maybe we come up with some. Oh, bro, we can bring that in. We can talk about that on the
I think I just
podcast.
gotta throw microphones on you guys all the time.
Yeah,
I just
man.
gotta edit it up. It's like NFL films, you know, how they have the microphones. That'd be sick.
There's some cool stuff he's doing.
Oh, I know, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, get on his YouTube page. It's a wrap, bro. You're gonna just do it tonight, bro. You'll have a blast, dude. I just listened to it because I had the rain and stuff, man. I was like, oh, dude, it's a good time, dude. But
This is crazy.
yeah, I think we're wrapping it up, man.
Ooh.
Great stuff.
Oh, the mushrooms, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Interesting.
Jared, thanks for coming by. Great guy. Good times. I'm gonna see you in the gym. Keep kicking ass, obviously. Robbie,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
always a
another
pleasure.
one.
That's another one in the
There we
books.
go.
All you ascenders out there, guys, enjoy this one, man. We got one of the best in the game with us today. Proud to call him a friend. Proud to be in the same four walls as this guy. Hopefully he rubs off on me a little bit.
You guys truly haven't seen anything yet. You know what I mean? If you guys are fans of this guy's work, you haven't even seen his work. Just wait till what this guy's gonna do on August 21st and in the future. Like, I'm more excited about him than anyone on the team, and he deserves every bit of recognition that's coming to him. You know what I mean?
Yep. Leaders lead, man.
Exactly.
Leaders lead.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me, man. This is
A little different, but
Yeah.
you know, we do our own
it
thing.
was
over
good,
here.
man. I like it. You know, very nothing scripted. You know, very organic. That's what I like. I don't like people because I got the countdown coming.
Yeah, they didn't.
And-
That's some.
You know, they want to. You know, the UFC has to put out a story to connect.
Right.
You know,
I know, it's so
common people
weird.
and stuff. And
Yeah.
last time they had me running out in the middle of the sun. I'm like, I don't go out here and run. We're in Arizona. Nobody runs outside
hot as hell.
in the evening. Shit.
It's still
So-
100 degrees.
And they didn't ever use the footage. So, but it's all good. Yeah. I definitely
right.
appreciate it, guys, man. It's an
Love it,
honor.
man.
Always
Awesome.
an honor to
Love it.
work and train with you guys. So
Beautiful.
I'm looking forward to more great moments.
We're out of here. We'll be back soon.
See you guys in the next one.
Peace out.